ראיתי כוכבים שמאירים את העולם ועם הזמן נעלמים. טיפסתי על פסגות הרים בדרך, גם שאלתי בעצת החכמים. לא נתתי לעיניי להסתנוור מהמראות, והבנתי שיותר מדי זה לפעמים פחות. לקחתי לי מתוך השקט שיר לנשמה. אין עוד מלבדו, מלוא כל הארץ כבודו. הקדוש ברוך הוא מלך ואני עבדו. במלחמות אל מול היצר כמו מדבר צמא למימה, אדם נכנע ושוב הנפש מבקשת לה מסתור מתחת לכנפי השכינה. גם אני עמדתי בפתח כמו כולם לבקש סליחה ממלך העולם, ולקחתי לי מתוך השקט שיר לנשמה. אין עוד מלבדו, מלוא כל הארץ כבודו. הקדוש ברוך הוא מלך ואני עבדו. אין עוד מלבדו, מלוא כל הארץ כבודו. הקדוש ברוך הוא מלך ואני עבדו.
Defend Eretz Israel, think of ways to support Saul, or have a Gemara and a Sefer in his hand, always going from a siyum to a siyum. And I think that his whole life was one big process of learning how to harness his energies. As a child, he was full of energy, and it was hard for him to sit still, and hard for him to sit with books, and he sometimes even used to bump into things, and yet, as an adult, if you saw him in his karate, he was masterful in control of his body and movements, and not only that, he was able to bring that over to kids of all ages and teach them how to be in control of their physical self and to reach inside for their strengths. I'll just share with you a very quick story that I shared earlier to the audiences in Hebrew. He had this uncanny knack of connecting with people and kids of all ages, women, men, children. And he taught karate also taught Torah classes, of course. But there's one story that I just feel says a lot, and that is that a parent came to him after one of the karate classes and said to him, Ari, I apologize, I'm so very sorry. I said, what are you sorry about? I sent my son to you without, and I forgot to give him his dose of Ritalin. I said, Ritalin? What are you talking about? He said, yeah. He needs Ritalin, he was diagnosed, and I forgot to send him. Ari said, listen, could you just stand here for a minute? And Ari said to the young man, I'm going to run you through some of the exercises and the katas that we learned together just now. And they are very defined, specific movements. And Ari ran this young man through these exercises, and he performed perfectly with every single nuance of his body. And the father stood back there with his mouth open. And Ari said, you see that? And he said, I don't believe it. He said, Ari said, please, don't ever send him to me with Ritalin. He doesn't need it. And that was his power. He could do that. And I think that he learned how to harness from inside, and he was able to teach others to do that. And he became Matmeh in yeshiva, and he sat and he learned. And that wasn't his natural inclination to be able to sit, but he did it. So much so that his Rosh Yeshiva Rabina called us in America. That first year when he was in yeshiva here in Israel, he said, I'm calling to tell you that your son doesn't leave the Beit Midrash for even a minute. And we were so taken aback because that wasn't his history. And it was the same from then on. And he did the same when it came to writing for Tzahal and thinking what he could do to help them. It was unbelievable Mesirat Nefesh to get back into Miluim after he finished being a Mitnadev, a soldier who was, we weren't here in Israel yet, we were still in America, so he was a soldier, Mitnadev, a volunteer soldier. And then, of course, subsequently we came on Aliyah, and they didn't call for Miluim. And he couldn't understand why they didn't call for Miluim. And he wrote, we got a letter just now in the family WhatsApp from the archives of Israel. One of the archivists found a letter that Ari wrote to the then minister, Rechavam Zevi, known as Gandhi. And he said to him, I'm begging you to step in here and help me. I want to be called up for Miluim. I have written to the army endlessly and nobody wants to help me. And we have that letter and we have Gandhi's response. And he helped him and he got him into Miluim. And originally he was a Golani, but they put him in as a paratrooper. And I'm just going to finish and tell you this last thing. I have a picture of him with me and him in his uniform. I'm driving him to his pickup from Miluim for the last time in his life that he went. And before he went, I said to him, you're 45 years old. When are you going to stop going to Miluim? As a 40, you don't know when you don't have to go. And he answered me in an Ari way, and he looks at me and he said, Ma, when I breathe the last breath in my body. What can a mother say to that? I had nothing to say. Only extreme admiration, of course. And that passion that he had really carried through with every single thing that he did in his life. And if there's anything that I hope that I can pull back from that, is that everything I do, everything that I love, I should be able to have that passion that he had.
Ima, I want you to know that in response to his appeal, right, he was very close with Rechavam Zevi, Zichrono Livracha, and a lot of correspondence because Ari was a big volunteer in Moledet at the time. And so Ari begged him and sent him an official letter, please help me to get reinstated into Miluim. We got a letter back from Rechavam Zevi saying, Al Tidag, don't worry, Ari, I sent in your information. You're going to get a phone call from the Lishkat Giyus. They're going to have you come down and they're going to reinstate you. We received this letter in the mail about 2 weeks after Rehavam Zevi was killed. But sure enough, Ari got the summons and he went to the Lishkat Giyus, and the Chayelet there said, "What are you here for?" And he said, "I want to be reinstated into Miluim." And she looked at him and she said, "Ma, ta meshuga? Are you crazy?" And that gave Ari an opportunity to give her a little speech about how lucky we are to have our own army, and you should be proud to wear this uniform. She kept telling him he was crazy, but you're right, they reinstated him. And because his unit had already continued onwards without him, they couldn't put him back with Golani, and they put him in with the Tzanchanim. But I think he stayed a Golanchik till the end. My son-in-law doesn't like me to say that, but it's true. He wore his uniform with pride. So excited every time he got his tzav to go to Miluim. Yeah, I know. Does anybody want to share a story? Steve, I'm calling you, Steve. You don't like speaking in public, but you worked really hard with Ari over the past couple of years, online, offline.
I don't like speaking in public at all. I met Ari in yeshiva in 91, and we became friends when we decided we were going to go into the army. And every time Ari and I went somewhere, it was always an adventure. And at first I didn't realize it was an adventure, but eventually I started to realize, oh yeah, this is unbelievable what's going on. We went one day in yeshiva, we went to a hafganah, to a protest, and it was fine, it was interesting. When we got back, we're outside the old city by Shar Yafo, by Yafo Gate, and Ari starts telling me about this hafganah he just went to. And I'm listening to this story, and this event sounded amazing. And then I'm like thinking a second, I was just standing right next to you during this entire event. Did we go to two completely different events? What's going on here? And he told me, he said, you and I went to the same thing, but you don't know how to tell a story. You have to learn how to tell a story. You have to learn how to embellish it, how to build it up, how to build everyone's interest. And that always astounded me, Ari's ability to do that, to take anything and talk about it, whether it was going to Harvey's and oh my God, with whatever he was eating there, or we went to Orient House, we started throwing stones at the Orient House, can't tell that story, I think. But there's just so many stories that he had that he managed to pull out the essence of what it was, and you realize, oh my God, that was an experience I had that was just simply incredible. I have a lot of stories I could tell. I don't give someone else a chance, and I'll maybe talk more afterwards.
Only the ones you're allowed to tell online.
Only the allowed to, yeah, okay. Okay, so give someone else a chance.
Recently somebody reminded me of a story with you, Steve. Ari's friend Alan Orbach, going back to yeshiva, walking through Shar Shechem, and there was a big poster of Yasser Arafat on top of Shar Shechem. Nope, this is not going to fly. This is not going to fly. Steve gets on Ari's shoulders, Alan gets on Steve's shoulders, and they pull down the poster. Yeah.
There was thousands of kids around there. It was during the march, during the Yom Hazikaron march that happened. And we were going through Damascus Gate there, and Ari says, not going to accept this. Not going to be a picture of Arafat on Yom Hazikaron on the gates of Jerusalem. And that's it. And you decided we're taking it down.
Rav Matan happens to be my son's Rav now, but he also served with Ari in the Kitat Konenut in the first alert team here in Efrat. Also something Ari was very excited about, I think.
So I will try to tell you. I will tell one story. We had every 3 months, more or less, we had a practice, an exercise of shooting, of working on our skills in fighting, in warfare. So this was one day. We usually start the days going down to shoot to the shooting range, and then afterwards in the afternoon evening we have an exercise in Efrat in the Yeshuv. So we're going up to this exercise up in Shivat Zion. It's one of the streets here in Efrat. And I chose to be in this certain exercise, the person that they're supposed to search and so-called kill. So I'm pretty much the terrorist, and I'm hiding in one of the bushes in some place, and in one of the gardens of one of the people here in the neighborhood, and I'm waiting. They're starting their exercise. They're starting to search and look for me in this case. And there's a staircase going up to where I'm hiding. And you hear from afar Ari coming, and Ari is the first one that is coming up to me. And this is scary. This is one of the scariest moments that I had in my life, because when he goes up that staircase, it's not just that he comes as with so much strength and so loud, shouting and talking to the other guys that are coming. Now, the idea is also to feel what the people that we search for are feeling. And you know that if in that case you are that guy that is coming to hurt someone else, and these guys, the first respond team, is coming towards you like that, you're done. You're dead. There's no way in the world that you can get out of it. And that's pretty much what I remember for that feeling from that second. Ari running straight up towards me. Now in that case, I got him first. And just that everyone will know, I did get him first in that case. But because I got him first, pretty much he got me out of my hideout, so everyone was able to go and take me down afterwards. Now that's pretty much what Ari is all about. It's about running, rushing first, being in a place that you know what you do, you see the goal, you're going straight up to that goal. And that's pretty much it. A place that you knew that you have someone that you can go and trust, and someone that that's going to guard you. I'm a short guy, and this is a mountain of man, and he's standing let's say that 30 centimeters more higher than me, taller than me. And that's something that you know that if that guy is rushing towards you, you're dead. So yeah, that's the story.
I see here a cousin who actually served in the army, Ari Fuld. I'm wondering if Ari had any words of wisdom for you before you went in.
Myself. Yeah, there you go. I don't really unmute myself. Ari actually did have a lot of he had a lot of what to do of me making Aliyah and going to the army. I used to sit with him Thursday nights, and we used to learn all the halachot for the army and all the importance of making Aliyah. And obviously, right before I drafted, we sat down and we spoke for a long time of the importance of serving in the army and everything. Yeah.
For many years, Ari helped to run a camp in Beit Shemesh. I think those were some very good summers he had when he was off from school. Ari was mechanech, 6th grade boys during the year. And in his summers, my kids were about the right age, and they found the Brombergs. And they had some good summers. Rochi, Izzy, would you guys like to say something?
Yeah, hello everybody. First of all, this is amazing to see all these people here. Ari was a bigger than life guy in camp as well. You know, we both worked together hand in hand, and all the kids always naturally gravitated towards Ari because Ari was this confident, fun, a bit crazy kind of guy, you know, that would just be willing to do anything. So if we were going on a teal somewhere, you know, we went to the Luna Park, for example, Ari would like lead all the kids up the Anaconda and just go on it like 69 times and stuff like that, you know. And the kids like couldn't even keep up with him, you know. I couldn't do any of that stuff for sure, you know, and certainly Ruchi either. He was really, you know, like, you know, you talked about him being such a multifaceted type of person, you know, and being able to do all these different types of things and doing it with such simcha and such ahava and such confidence. And there's one thing that I remember clearly was in 2006, when the Milchemet Lebanon Shniya, the Second Lebanese War, he was so excited that he was going to be, that he was called up. Not excited in a way of, you know, he knew the dangers, and actually, you know, I'm sure you can tell the story about that it was dangerous for him at that point in time. But he was excited that he was going to fulfill a mission of going to fight and going to protect Eretz Yisrael. And he radiated that feeling. I never was able to do the army, so I was very jealous of his ability to do that, and you know, thank God he came back safely. But that's just like one point that
and he would do it. It would be so exciting to him. Everything that he did was exciting to him. As he mentioned, Anaconda, sometimes it was hard to get the whole camp back on the bus because Ari said just a little longer. So he wanted to take some more kids on the ride with him, and even being called up to Miluim, he was the one who kept saying, "They're calling me, they're calling me." He would have the phone by him. We did color war breakout all around Ari being called up, that when he actually was called up, no one believed it anymore, because that's what we kept saying the whole time. He just, everything was always there. He was working with him together. We were discussing it. It was fun. There was never any disagreement, arguments. He was a hard worker. He was passionate about everything. The kids, he was fun and crazy and full of life and tough, but a tough love. And he, Mrs. Fuld, you said like you couldn't sit still, but he took all that energy and he was so great. He was so great with each and every kid. It was just great summers with Ari, summers that we will never forget. The kids will never forget. And we were very grateful and zoche to know him and to be with him.
Yeah, there's actually one other story that shows who Ari is. I wasn't in camp that summer, but my son, who I guess has a bit of the temperament of Ari, who can't sit still and likes to run around and has lots and lots of energy, he put his hand through a window and he got a pretty bad cut on his hand. And Ari, you know, just jumped into action like that.
Out of nowhere. That run. That was the Ari run. He knew
what to do. He took off the shirt, he put a bandage on him. He took care of everything. You know, it was just, you know, again, another very true Ari moment, you know.
Hi. So I actually learned with Ari. I learned karate with him through our dojo in Efrat. I grew up in Efrat, and when you moved here, so he started the group. And it's actually a story that I wanted to tell you. I thought of it, but I never got the chance. It was always interesting with him, you know. He's always beating people up and whatever. We always got smacked around, and but it was fun. He would toughen us up, and I remember like just, you know, also like anybody, a lot of stories. But I think there was once that I remember that we used to practice in the rotation in the school, and I think it was around Yom HaShoah. We had a lesson, and there was the famous picture of the child and the Holocaust picking up his hand with the Nazi aiming his gun at him. And I remember, and it's mamash like stuck in my head, like I won't forget this. Ari was like, look at that picture. And then we all look at the picture and he's like, I don't blame this kid. but I'm here to make sure it never happens again. And that was like it was a moment that really gets you, and you really remember it and you don't forget it.
Yeah, he always said, if you don't have to be there, you shouldn't be there in the first place. But if you have nowhere to go and you can't get away, then I'm going to teach you to defend yourself.
Baruch Hashem, we had the zchut. He taught 3 of our 6 boys in a rotation and toughened them all up. They were a little bit wimpy to start with, but now they're tough manly men. Baruch Hashem. Yeah.
I see here we have Ari's aunt and uncle, Aunt Anita and Uncle David. Would you like to say something? I'm sure you have a lot of good stories.
We have great stories, but one thing that I would just like to say that all of his 6 cousins, who all
Are you
adore,
going to speak, Shell?
miss him very, very much.
I remember. Am I on?
Yes, go ahead.
I remember when my wife told me that that Ari had mentioned to her that he was holding fundraisers here in our neighborhood. This is going back probably about 5 years ago when he first started. It was one of the first ones he did here. And at first I said, of course, obviously. And then it dawned on me, I realized I had to go out and ask people I knew to come. And in the beginning, it's out of my nature to ask people to come to my house for an event on a Sunday night. And I started out thinking, oh, I've got to do this. Can't believe I've got to go ask people. Go out of my comfort zone and ask people to, drag people out on a Sunday night. And it started out that way, but because of Ari being who Ari was, while it was going on, I remember thinking, wow, I'm proud to be related to him. So it ended up being my covet, and I would never have known that without going out of my comfort zone for an event like this. And I really still have people mentioning it to me today, that they were inspired by Ari's talk that night. So.
Thanks, Ellie. I see somebody else here. I see Josh Wander is here. I don't know if anybody has ever seen the video of Ari up on the rooftops of the old city with a megaphone singing Shema Yisrael towards the dome of the mosque. Has anybody seen that video? Well, Josh was there with Ari. Josh, I wonder if you could tell us a little bit.
I have a lot of stories also about his gvura and how tough he was, going back to demonstrations from Oslo. But I'd like to mention another side of him, which I'm sure you're familiar with, but I'm not sure everyone else is. And that's his sensitive side. And I don't know if you know the story or not, but I found him one day. I'm walking by the hotel, and I see him, and I run up and say hello to him, and we start talking, and there was just something wrong. He just, he was always lively, he was always happy, he was always excited, and he looked depressed. He looked like he was in mourning, and I could not figure out for the life of me what was going on. I said, Ari, what is happening? Why, what happened to you? So he told me that he just came back from going on to the Temple Mount. So this was at the time after the metal detectors and the cameras, and they restricted the Arabs from going up to the mount. And he said that for years, family members, including his father, were trying to convince him to go up, and he never went up. And finally decided that this was an opportunity which he had to take because of the situation. He had to go up. And after having gone up, he wasn't sure whether he made the right decision, because it was the most depressing sight, he said, of his life. The fact that he went up there and he felt like a second-class citizen, that he was there only as a guest when it should be his place. Obviously, a Jew on the Temple Mount, there's no more natural place than that. And he couldn't grasp the fact that he had to be there in a second-class sort of position and status, and he was just walking around in a in a cloud. And I tried to get his feelings up, and I took him on a tour. I showed him the different cameras and, you know, where they had the cameras and the metal detectors. I think we did a live video there, but it just it showed a totally different side of him that I was not familiar with, his sensitive side, that he was just a broken man when he saw that. And
Yair Dan from Ateret Kohanim took me, my daughter Naomi, and my brother-in-law Donnie on a tour through the Muslim quarter to go and see the Beit Ari that they had purchased and named after Ari. It was a spur of the moment decision. There was a big conflict. It took them about 7 months. The Arabs had moved back into the house, even though it was legally purchased. And they were just waiting for an opportunity. And one day, the Arab woman who was there left the house. And quick, she left the house. Take over. And they all ran into the house. And there was this whole big thing started. And the bitachon and the army started rushing. There were rocks throwing. And somebody asked, where are they? Where are they? And the guy, in a split second, he said, Hem liyad Beit Ari. It's Beit Ari. It's Beit Ari Fuld. So, Zachinu. When we were there, right before there is an old house that used to belong to the Turkish ruler who was in the area. It's one of the tallest spots in the Muslim quarter. There are 4 Jewish families living there now. And we went up, all the way up onto the roof, and you literally see over into Har HaBayit. Josh, exactly what you were saying. You see mamash into Har HaBayit. And when Ari came to Israel, the first thing he needed was to go to yeshiva in the closest place to Har HaBayit. At the time, that was Yeshivat HaKotel, and that's where he went.
Just to give you a little bit of background on what this video is, we had a group of activists. We called it an activist group. They got together, and we all, it was here in Ma'ale Zetim, in Har HaZeitim, and we had a great time together talking. It was the first time that we managed to get the whole group of bloggers and journalists and people that were activists together. And at one point, we went up to the rooftops in order to be able to see what was, the beautiful view that we have, Baruch Hashem, of Har HaBayit. And it was getting late. We took our pictures. Everybody spoke. And then as it started to become evening, the muazzin started to blast off. And we have a muazzin right across the street, well, on both sides of us, both from Har HaBayit and across the street here in Ras Al Amud. And Ari couldn't handle the fact that the Arabs were making all this noise. And he saw that there was a big speaker that was broken off. It was a broken speaker that we had on top of the roof. And he immediately grabbed the speaker, didn't think twice, grabbed the speaker, and facing towards the muazzin, he started to scream back, as you'll see in the video. Go. Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad.
They're all saying Amen. This is what should be heard in Jerusalem. Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad.
I think you can quieten him now. Just finally, I want to say that he told me not to share this video. So I waited until after his death to share it because he was afraid he was going to get into trouble if anybody saw it. He really didn't want anybody to see it during his lifetime.
Oh, thank you, Josh. Does anybody else have a story they'd like to tell, something they'd like to share?
I would like to tell Ari's story. My name is Abigail Citroen. I'm Rabbi Elisha's daughter to Rabbi Fuld and Mrs. Fuld. Hi. I learned karate many years ago with at Arthur's group, but I was a brown belt, And in order to continue on and get to higher levels and get to a black belt, we had to, basically karate was our whole life. So we would go from class to class and help out the different teachers, and then they would stay afterwards with us. So we went to Ari's class. I don't remember who I was with, but I was with someone. We went to Ari's class, and then he would stay after he taught his lessons, after we helped him out with his students. He stayed with us and helped us with, that was like our bonus. So I had to learn how to break a brick, soft breaking, not using power, but like kind of your mind, and I had no idea how to do this. And Ari said, okay, I'm not going home tonight until you learn how to break this brick. We had a pile of bricks and we were gonna practice doing this. And I'm thinking to myself, he's not going home tonight. He has small children at home and I don't know how I'm doing this. And he really walked me through it. And we tried and tried. I think we were there, I don't know how many hours, but we were there. And he stayed and he says, you're breaking this brick tonight. And I did. It was the one time I was able to really break the brick. And it was just, I felt like I had to share it because we had a lot of karate moments together. And it was just, it was great. And he went home and he really helped me with this, and I wanted to share.
Thank you, Abigail. You know, Ari definitely took his karate. Yeah, Ari was studying karate since he was 7, Ima? A little later, 12?
About 11, 12.
About 11, 12. One of the things later on that Ari very much enjoyed, this was already, I think after his first degree black belt, was the whole spiritual background of Torah Dojo. And one of the classes he incorporated while he was teaching came around Rosh Hashanah time. And he taught his students Kavanah. He taught them, and I remember one day he always, before I gave birth, every time he tried to teach me meditation. I told him, leave me alone, let me do this my way. But he would sit with his classes, with the kids, and tell them to close their eyes, visualize a king on a throne, who they're actually speaking to, Kavanah. Imanaba, we got a lot of letters afterwards from his students telling us that Ari taught them how to daven.
One young man wrote the most beautiful letter. You know, we saved it, of course, but the gist of it was, he said, I went to Yeshiva Day School, I went to Yeshiva High School, I went to YU College, I learned in Israel for 3 years, but Ari Fuld taught me how to daven. That was it. We sat in this class for meditation. Ari Fuld taught me how to daven.
Yeah, he liked that very much. Does anybody else have anything they want to say? We're closing in on our last 5 minutes.
He was a pleasure to know. It was an honor to know him. You know me enough to know that everybody, whoever I talked to, and I said, oh, I'm Lenny Fuld, they'd say, oh, are you Ari Fuld's father? And my answer was always, yes, I am Ari Fuld's father, the other Ari Fuld's father. And he will, you know, living in Teaneck, your Ari would come into B'nai Yeshurun once or twice a year. The place would light up. He'd come over. We'd give a big hug and a kiss. How are your parents? It was just always a pleasure to see him in Teaneck, just as much as it was always, he always brought a big smile and that big bear hug in Efrat as well. We're always going to have terrific memories of Ari. Happy. That big smile and that hug I'll never forget.
Yeah, when your son Ari moved into the neighborhood, he said, "Do you mind?" And then he moved right across the road. Ari said to
Yep.
him, "Why would I mind? It's a great neighborhood. Move in."
Uh-huh. There was the famous Ari Fuld and the plumber Ari Fuld. We're proud of both. And your in-laws were the first ones to call us the Fuldies, way back from Camp Hillel. Your father-in-law every time said, "Hey, Fuldy, how you doing?" So, Fuldies, we're proud of you. We're proud to know you, and we miss Ari.
Thanks, guys. Anybody else? Chaya Fix, you know Ari since he was a baby.
I do. I was just thinking about it. He really was one of a kind, and always walked into his own beat with much love. He taught my grandkids also, and they loved his classes. And he really taught more than just gym or exercise. It was, as you all said, there was kavana, there was commitment, there was love, there was connection, there was so much that he gave over. One of my grandsons was at the kotel, at the hashba'ah, at the end of a course, and we were standing at the very end, looking to see if we can see a glimpse of the grandson. Ari comes by, "What are you doing here?" "We have a grandson all the way up there at the kotel." "Don't worry, come here." Takes some meat, takes him over to his son. 2 seconds, they're all there hugging, being. He was just there. He was a very big, loving person, and it was really a pleasure and a very zchut to know him and you, Miriam, and all of you Fuldies. We miss him.
Can you hear me? You can hear me?
Yes, hey Dad. Yeah, you want to say something?
No, I do remember that I never had to ask Ari to bring me a lulav and esrog. He would always be there, bring me a lulav and esrog without me asking. So, in that respect, I do miss him.
You know why he did that? Because he knew when he would come and he opened the refrigerator, there was always some orange juice for him. So he liked that. In a big glass.
Right, fresh squeezed orange juice. He liked that.
Oh yeah.
He had a Tropicana t-shirt from when he was a teenager.
Well, this was Pomeranz's special.
Good memories.
Abba?
I guess I just would like to say in the last few minutes, thank you to all those people who are continuing to appreciate what Ari was all about. All these people who came on today, very, very beautiful, and we're very grateful to you. You know, if there is time for me to say it, you know, one of the most common customs that are when somebody is gone, and this day for all those people that have gone, is to light a candle. The obvious symbolism of the candle is that the candle, when it's on, continue to give light to more and more candles, and even when the original light goes out, the rest of the candles continue to burn. I think the lesson that's most important for me that comes out of all this for me is all the beautiful things, including this presentation now, but all the beautiful things that have come out of Ari's life and his end that are so inspiring. He was so into Torah. 7 Sifrei Torah were donated in his memory. I never in my entire life heard 7 Sifrei Torah being donated to anybody. For anybody, for a Rav, for a Rosh Hashiva, for a Admor, for anybody. Everything that he did has people that are continuing his message. I was recently, a while back at a Brit Milah. There are tens and tens of children in the world, all over the world, being named Ari or something along the lines of a young lion. And in that way, he's continued. His students have told, you heard some of the stories about his students. Endlessly we hear, I came on Aliyah because of Ari. I'm religious because of Ari. I joined the army because of Ari. the house that was spoken about before in the Muslim Quarter, the Givat Ha'ari between Efrat and Tekoa, an EMT class in Efrat. All these acts were named after Ari and because of Ari. He was a Gibor. He was a Gibor in his life. He was a hero in his life. He was a hero, unfortunately, at the end. But everything that he did continues in great strength. That gives us a great deal of comfort. And thank you all for your participation.
Carol,
Who's Carol?
Carol, you were there when you babysat when I went to the hospital giving birth to Ari.
Yes, I was the babysitter.
Babysat when she and Donnie on my way to the hospital.
That's Dr. Carol Weiss.
Yeah.
Dear.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I love you. Thank you so much for inviting me all the way from America here. It's so touching. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for being here, for remembering Ari. And don't forget where we go from today, Yom Hazikaron into Chag HaAtzmaut tomorrow. Also one of Ari's favorite holidays. I'm not sure if it's because of the fireworks or because he got to barbecue. The smell of smoke in the air all over Israel. But we shouldn't forget.
Goodbye. Hatzlacha, be well.
Thank
Only the
you
best
very
for the
much.
future.
Thank you, everybody, very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. We miss him.